Alright, I was thinking of making a video blog, like a vlog for my tech stuff, and I don't have one yet, but I'm just going to basically copy my video log for my dog training, for training Grizz. So let's just give us instead of starting at the beginning, we're going to start adding a little bit to this Django project. To give you an idea of where we're at, some of this stuff, this is Argo. We use CNPG as our database. We have MetaLB to run this because we're running this on a bare server. We got some NFS stuff on here because we have we have a server and an agent. We have multiple nodes, and we need to be able to share files across both. This is the Django app. And then down here, I used to have an app called Debian. So we have I used to have a domain called Debian. That used to be where my tech stuff was at, and I used to have a blog there. But I kind of got rid of that. So I need to actually delete this one and delete this one. This is still the old tech blog. It's text-based. You can find it on the website if you want. We have PG admin here, so we can add stuff to our database with that if we want to. I've been trying to use SQL to learn that. Anyways, here's our Django app. We can ignore PyCache stuff. I use the admin thing sometimes. I try to use SQL, like I said, but I like having the admin thing in there from time to time. We have a container file instead of a Docker file because we need to turn this into a image in order to serve the deployment. We have SQLite for while I'm testing. This is just a script for when I was playing with container files, so we don't need to worry about that. Grizz, this is the dog video log. So we'll go and use a lot of the stuff that we have here. This was a container file that I was practicing. We don't need to worry about that. We're serving static with white noise, so that's what all that stuff is. Debian, like I said, used to be my main URL, but I got tired of using it as an email, so we changed it. So we're going to be going into settings.py first and urls.py probably a little bit, and that should be it. So to start things off, we're going to go into Debian settings.py. And the first thing that we want to do, pardon me, because with the NeoVim stuff, I'm a Vim user, trying to learn NeoVim, but this is DHH's setup because we're on a Marchi, so I might not do things the NeoVim way. But anyway, we'll go ahead and activate the SQLite database before we do anything here. So that will allow us to run things on the local host. Now we need to create an app, so let's go ahead and figure out our old manage.py start app. We'll start with this, and we'll call this tech. Source our virtual environment. Cool. So now when we check, we have the tech right here. So we'll go ahead and cd into tech here, ls, and first thing we want to do is the models. So we'll go under models here, and from, like I said, we're going to basically copy a lot of the stuff from what I did with my dog training blog. So I'm going to go ahead and delete everything here. I'm going to read cat and Grizz. Where are we? We are at Debian. Okay, so we should be able to read cat and // Alright, so we'll go from here finishing, you can see we have Debian slash grid slash stop high. Ah, why did that do that? Let's see, we have Grizz and models.py. So if we went into Grizz here, and we pwd, I see what happened. That's weird. Alright, there we go. So let's go back up here to the top and let's start looking at what we need. Alright, we do want tags, that's what I want. We don't need dogs, so we'll go ahead and delete that. Entry, this is where we're going to keep this. Again, we're not having dogs, so we'll delete those. I do want the date. YouTube videos and the time of created. So we can probably delete this one because we only need the one date. Here we go. Definition of string. Self.dog return entry. We're going to go ahead and delete our toString here, and we're going to go ahead and exit. Sweet. So let's see if that works. So manage, make migrations. Python manage, what happens if we migrate? We forgot to add our app. So, right here, now we're just going to go over, change word to tech, and we're going to change that to tech. Now, what happens when we make our migrations? There we go. So, cool. Alright, before we hop on over and start looking at some browser stuff, which we can throw up here in this window here, let's see, what else do we need to do? We need a view, so let's go ahead and go back in tech, views, and again, we're going to do the same thing that we did last time. We're going to write, we're going to read. You know what? Let's quit from here. We're going to go back one, and we're going to enter vim from here. Find file, we'll go to tech. Alright. Now, if I read, see, look at that. That's a bit better. Grizz. And we're going to go views. Apply. Alright. I think we need all of this, but let's go ahead and see. We obviously don't need that. We need to change everything that says grizz to text. So let's go ahead and do %s/grizz/tech. And that looks good to me. Oh no, what happened? %s/grizz/. Alright, now we wrote that out. Okay. Everything's looking good here. Let's go ahead and go again. Find files. And this time let's go to URLs. We're going to hit our endpoint. Oh no. Okay. Okay, this is okay. So we're going to go ahead and touch text/urls.py. Vim find URLs. There we go. Read cat grizz. Why does it do that? That doesn't happen on regular Vim. URLs.py. Let's go ahead and start with %/grizz/tech/g. That looks good. I'm not sure why I have that tech tag. Oh, I got it. Okay. Now let's go ahead and see. Tech do we have? We do not have. So if we look at our grizz folder, we need this templates tag folder. So maker tag/templates. And you know, this time I'm just going to make it easier on myself. We'll go grizz template star, and we're going to go to tech templates. And now we have ls tech/templates. Cool. Let's go ahead and head over there. Templates. We need to change those to tech instead of grizz, and we'll do that with for file in $ls do move file. Oh gosh, how are we gonna do that? Let's do parameter expansion. File //grizz/tech. Done. Oh. I don't know what all those. Oh, because let's see, we have. Oops. The reason that happened is I think of ls as an ls command, but DHH made it to easy A, and you could tell if you try and do ls-t, it goes, oh, so what I should have done is /ls. That would have made more sense. Anyway, we got it working. So let's go ahead and head into these and see if there's anything in here we need to look at. Entry dog, we don't want that. Alright, the rest of this should be okay. I need to figure out how LazyVim works. That's obnoxious. Alright. see that grid stuff? We need to change that, so. Yes, okay. All right. I think we're ready to. I'm gonna go ahead and kill this bad boy. And we're gonna open up a browser here, and I'm gonna take this screen capture. We're gonna get rid of that. All right. So now that we have that there, because Debian manage from server 0.0.0 8000. Apparently I can never decide between 3000 8000. Right now these links aren't going to work because I'm not hooked up to the VPN and I didn't do these the Django way. But let's, like, if we went to /grizz, this is our content from the dog log, but of course it's a little easy going. So let's go to tech. Okay, so we don't have anything. Why do we not have anything? Okay, well, that's because we need to go and edit our main URLs. Alright, no, that's the wrong one. And this is my main page, so this is the main URLs. We need to just go ahead and add our new app. And again, change to the slash, oh gosh, change our word, tech, change our word, tech. And now if we hit refresh, ooh, look at that. Nothing comes up because we haven't added any content. So what I think I'm going to do is we're going to go to YouTube real quick. And we're going to grab a couple URLs. We'll just do this through the admin panel for now. So I'm going to go ahead and head over to my channel. And my videos. Alright, so let's see why I did this. So /admin. Oh no. Okay. So forgot to add to our admin panel. So we'll come back down here. And we are up here. That is not showing enough of our video. Okay. So we'll do that down here from now on. CD. Oh yes, we could go into there. We can keep that server running, but we need to fix the admin panel. So tech ls. We're going to go to admin, and I don't remember what we need to do here, so let's go ahead and Control Z here. We're going to go ahead and put this. Okay, so vim, find file, admin, tech, read, cat, grizz, admin, pi. Alright, so we gotta import our models. There's no dog model, so this. entries. Gotta get rid of all that dog stuff. Man, that's obnoxious. Okay, we're just gonna delete those for now. Let it refresh over here. What's this saying? Tag.entry admin list display refers to dog, which is not callable. Didn't we just fix that? Tech admin.i. We did not fix that. AI word. Don't want to delete that. Now what's wrong? Created at. Okay, so I feel like that's not quite enough stuff. So we have our tags and we have our entries. Let's go ahead and add an entry. Let's call it django. Save that tag. Don't know why we need to do that. Okay. Today's date. And for now, we're going to grab this YouTube video here, which when we go to the actual site, we'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and use SQL to inject this in. Post, change this to embed / slave. Now if we go to tech and hit all content, the video shows up. And obviously it's not this video, which is the first one we're going to put into it. And that's going to require me turning this video off and getting on YouTube and doing the SQL queries. So we're going to go ahead and kill this because everything is kind of working how we want it to. And we're going to finish off with the rest of what we want to do before I kill this video and upload this. We have one more thing we want to do. So I think it's on where ls blog. Okay, so in blog we should have, and I don't know why I call it blog because obviously I'm not sure how I feel about blogs. I'm not very good at them. But let's see, templates. We have this index file, index, and you can see I just hard coded these. So we need a URL. Let's see, URL. Okay, so we should be able to go to those URLs that way. You know what? I don't want to do that right now. So we yank that. We'll go ahead and copy that. And this time we're gonna make this one delete to the G. And we'll delete this to the G. We needed to use the URLs here. I can figure that out, I guess, huh? I guess we should do that. So you can see how we do the URLs down here. So we know it needs to be something like, we'll do it for, well, this one won't work, but for up here, we could do %, URL, and then we would need the name of the URL. So we went to Grizz URLs, I think we could just do that. Maybe we need to go to, maybe they need to be named, huh? Yeah, see, that's how it is. Grizz content, Grizz tags, and then we have Grizz index. So this should be Grizz index. Let's go ahead and try that out real quick. We'll go back, we'll go here. Okay, see, that does work. Cool. God, I hate this. I don't know. Okay, so vim, find file, blog, / templates, index. And we're going to do the same thing with this one. This one's going to be tech. And we can't do that here because that's a different container. We're going to do this one as another subtitle, but we're going to go ahead and change in here 100% URL, quote percent. Let's go ahead and see what we did. CD those Debian CD tech ls cat URLs. Alright, so we're going to use basically the same thing, except for I should have known that. Tech index. Run the server. Check it. Ooh. Why didn't that work, huh? Tech index. Ah, I see. Percent. There it is. Sweet. If I click this, nothing will pop up because there's no tags. We didn't put a tag in. We'll show you that later. I'll have to do a follow-up video on how I do my container files. Hold on a second. Okay, so now we need to redo our container file. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm gonna open up another. Okay. Oops, there we go. Login. Cool. So we're gonna log in here. Alright, so that's cool. We need to do that because we're we're going to be uploading to our GitHub container registry. We need to, before we go and copy everything, we go back to our database and go to the 0 index. Production web database and container file. Just to give you an idea, I need to come in here and do this a lot better. You can see I've got debugging stuff in here still, but basically we're mounting some shit and we're gonna be running our command to gunicorn. Nothing needs to be changed there, but we do need to podman build. That's all right. Alright, let's go over to GitHub. I think I want to say we're on version 11. Log in. And let's go. Package registries. Where do package registries live? No. Packages. There we go. Grizz. That's the one we're doing. Going up to version 11. Cool. And now we should be able to we built it, so now we need to push it. Make sure it shows up. Bam, right there. Okay. So, now we're done with that. The next part here is going to be, we got to update our container file and then rebuild our container. And I don't do that here, so let's head over to our Argo. I'm going to head over to the Argo cluster. I need to make this part of some GitHub actions, but I don't even want to use GitHub. I want to switch over to something self-hosted, but which is what's been preventing me from doing that. Secrets.sh, we have our deployment, so all I'm going to do here is, you see all of these package images, we're just going to update them, and it's pretty easy to do. We can do grep image on the deployment. You can see we only have 2 spots there. And if I grep 0.0.10, I happen to know that that is the only ones that will show up. So we're going to do sed s 0.0.10 slash 0.0.11. Swap those out on that file. We're going to grep image now. You can see that's how it is. Cool beans. So now we're going to kapply.chef this file, and we can go in here to here, and we'll see it close off and turn back on. Now I don't have a VPN running on this computer, so I cannot view this website from this machine. But what we can do is, once this container is up, we'll go in and I'll show you how we'll do the database entry. Okay, so we got a database pod here. We shell in SQL-u Postgres, right? And if I do a /l here, I'm not really sure where these came from, if I'm being honest with you. I think they're a part of it. I know this is default and this is default, so but we're gonna connect /l for connect to tdebian. Like I said, that's what I used to call my site. And we can do /d here to display, right? So what we would do is, so like if I was doing an entry for the dogs, we would do a select star from grizz entry, right? And that would pull up the table. It looks a little sloppy because it's all scrunched together. But we could, once you know what's in there, let's go to the tags. We'll do /d again, and we're going to look at this tag real quick. So I'll just show you one entry to the tag, and you should be able to go to the site now, by the way. It should be live, but let's add a tag. So let's go select star from tech tag. And we got nothing, but we do have an ID and name. So let's insert into tech tag, and we're going to do ID, comma, name. Actually, let's just do name. And values, let's try django. Semicolon. Why did that not work? Because it's a string. There we go. We could do a few more of these. Vim, neovim, kubernetes. So we could do a couple of those. Select star from tag. Cool. So those pop up, and I'll add the video the same way. Basically, what we'll do is we know what we have a URL embed, URL created. So kind of how we did from the admin tab, I could do the same thing. So select star from grizz from tech entry. So you could, if you wanted to, insert into, and then you would do your stuff. So you have your date, YouTube, URL, and these don't have to be done in that order. YouTube, embed, text, and then you would do your values. And for date, you would do something like now, and then you would have your YouTube link and your YouTube embed link, and for the text, I would say a description about this video. Now I'm not going to do that because then I'd have to just delete it, and then my ID will start at 2 instead of 1, and I don't really want to do that. So I think that's all we're going to do for this video. I'm going to go ahead and close out OBS. If the sound sucks, that sucks, but whatever. And I'll upload this to YouTube, and then I'll put this on the site so that it'll be live, and I'll have one single video to add. Oh, and then there's also to add tags with it. It's a little bit tricky because when you add a tag, by the way, you have a whole nother table to go into. So if you're doing it without the admin thing, select star from here, right? Select star from. So you would enter the ID of your entry and then your tag, and it's not really as bad as it sounds, but the admin panel is there and it's easier if you need to use it. But that's it. That's me adding a little app to my Django. Django Vlog 1. So we'll upload this and hopefully my next videos will get better. This is kind of mostly for me to figure out OBS and try and figure out a nice little workflow to go through. So I'll make another video sometime. Later.